Hello everyone, this is Joe Neville and welcome to video 2 in my series Let's Configure IPv6. Now in my last video I mentioned that when I was configuring Windows via a GUI that there was probably a better way to do this. Now there is, and that's with PowerShell, which you can use to configure Windows via a command line and to compose and run scripts. Now, owing to the considerable effort it takes to type out IPv6 addresses, that's one of the main bugbears that people that are new to v6 have with it, you should be looking to use a programmatic approach wherever you can with the networking kit and with your in-hosts, and PowerShell enables that with Windows. In this video I'm going to run you through a few basic PowerShell commands that can make your life easier. Here's the topology, same as the last video, but what we're going to do is focus on this Windows 10 client, configure that via PowerShell to be able to access the web server which is running over here on this Ubuntu client on a different subnet. Here we are on that Windows 10 client, so I'll just show you graphically that what I've done is reset the v6 address. There you go, back to obtain an IPv6 address automatically. So we're not configured there, we're going to do this via PowerShell. So to fire up PowerShell, we can just go here, type PowerShell, and I think most people would go initially for this PowerShell app here, but what I'm going to show you, and it is very useful, is this integrated scripting environment. So this Windows PowerShell ISE. Let's open that up. Took a few seconds to load up, so I've just jumped ahead. Now this is the PowerShell ISE, so the integrated scripting environment. And why this is nice as opposed to the standard PowerShell environment is that it essentially holds your hand for you, and that's really great when you are starting out with PowerShell. So what it will do is it will offer you the commands that are available, do some syntax checking, and you have this sidebar over here on the right which you can use to essentially investigate the commands that are available. So for example, if we try get there, this is the simple verb get, and then it will give you the get and the nouns that you can use. So essentially the commands that are available to you, and if you want to drill into one of those, you can get the details of it. You can fill those out and hit run there, and it will run that command here for us. Okay, let's see if we can do that. There we are. So I did get child item, which will list what's in the directory. Hit it over here with the run, and it will run over in the window here on your host. So let's clear that off. Now, how should we start with PowerShell? So I know that a lot of network engineers, when they jump onto a Windows box and they are looking at the IP addresses, they will go for the old favourite, an ipconfig, which is fine if you don't have many addresses, but a lot of the time if you've got VPNs running or you've got multiple addresses, it will easily fill up your screen and can be quite a pain. So that's why I think using a bit of PowerShell, just even at a very basic level, if you start using some of the commands, it can really help you, especially with v6. So let me show you a few then. So let's go for Get-NetWare, and as you can see straight away that you get commands offered to you. So Get-NetAdapter, let's go for that one. What this does is it shows us the adapter on the box. Now this is a really important one for us. So we've got Ethernet. As I mentioned, I've only got one interface on this box. So we've got this Ethernet. I'm running a virtual machine in Hyper-V, that's why it's listing it like that. And we can see the MAC address stays this up. Okay, and what's really important, especially for v6, is this index. Okay, so that's Get-NetAdapter. Then what we can do is Get-Net. So that's what we're going to be doing a lot of. Get-NetIPAddress. Okay, so that will give us, there we are, that will give us the IP addresses on the box. Now I don't have a v6, so that will give us the v4 and the v6 if we do it like that. Now as you can see, we have to scroll up and down, so that's quite irritating. Wouldn't it be better if we could get all of that in a simple table? We can. Now the command is format table, but you can shorten it to just ft. So we do a pipe ft, and there we are. Let me clear that off, and I'll do it again for you. So Get-NetIPAddress pipe ft, and you get this really nice formatted table for you. So that's great when you've got lots of address interfaces or addresses on the box. Makes it much more manageable. Okay, and what we can do as well is, remember the index was 14, so we can drill into that. So what we can do is interface index, and we go for 14, and that will just bring up the addresses on our interface. Clear that. Oh, I'm hitting this. It's like a windshield wiper or something like that. It's like a squeegee which clears it off. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. Okay, so what other things might we look for? Let's explore. So we got net IP address. Okay, and we also have down there we are, interface. So let's go for that. So that can give us some more information as well. Gives us the address family that we're using, and you can see there's some more information such as whether it's running DHCP or not. Now to really get into the detail, this is a very useful command once you're diving into the protocol. So we do get-net IP, let me just check that one, v6, yeah, there we go. Get-net IPv6 protocol, and that gives you a lot of information about how v6 is configured on the Windows host. So we'll be diving into some of these details, a lot on there. So we'll be diving into some of these in later videos. So some of them are randomized identifiers there, which are enabled. Using temporary addresses, there we are, and we've got things like whether the dead gateway detection, etc. So this is where you can get a deep view of the IPv6 configuration on your Windows host. So that's Get-NetIPAddress IPv6 protocol. And what if we wanted to check the neighbor table? So that's Get-NetNeighbor, there we are. Get-NetNeighbor. Right, so that's how you're going to check for the neighbor discovery protocol, what you've found in there. So that's essentially like the v6 equivalent of an ARP table. So that's Get-NetNeighbor. And actually you can see there that it's combined with the v4. So what you might want to do is drill into the address family. So you can do that address family IPv6, so that will just give us the IPv6 neighbor discovery table. Okay, and let us go ahead then and start to configure our address. So the command is New-NetIPAddress. Okay, and we need to tell it the address family then. So it's IPv6. Okay, good. And the interface, remember the interface index was 14. And the IP address that we want. Okay, so there we are. So it's going to be 2001 DB8 A5-10. And the prefix length is 64. Okay. And what it's done actually here is it has denied me because I don't have permission. So what we need to do is let's close this down. And with Windows, what we have to do here is run as administrator. Okay, so we have to hit yes for that. It will load it up for us. And I hope... So now as you see, the prompt has changed. So we're not in just the user, we're as an administrator. So let me just get that and copy it. I've got the commands off screen as a prompt. There we are. So that is our address. Right, we need to change that one to 14. Okay. So that's the correct address, isn't it? So let's hit that, and now it should work. So okay, it's printed to screen and it has worked. So let's see if we can hit our default gateway, and we can. Okay, great, so we're configured. But what's the problem here? If we check the routing table, okay, now I haven't configured a default route. So we've got the IP address on, so we can ping the local gateway, but we don't have a default route on the device for getting over to the other subnet and the Ubuntu host. So let us add that. So that's New-NetRoute. Interface index, it was 14. So it's a default route. We'll add in our next hop. And that is, of course, the default gateway. Okay, excellent. So we've added that. Clear that off. We'll look at the route, and there we can see we've got this route now via the index of 14. Okay. So let's ping this is the address of the Ubuntu host. Okay. And we can ping. And because PowerShell is a scripting language, of course, you can write and run scripts. So a great way to do this is in Visual Studio Code, which I have here. Now, if you haven't used this editor, it's a fantastic tool that I got into a couple of months ago, and it's very much the editor of my editor of choice now. And I think a lot of other people's. It's very popular at the moment. So let's open up a new file. We call it test1, and the extension is PS1. So as soon as we've typed that, it can tell that it. I should mention that I do have the PowerShell extension added to this. Okay. Here we are, and let's paste it. So here's a few simple commands. Very, very simple script. I mean, I've only just started with PowerShell. You can do a lot more with this, but this is just a simple example for you. So we've got a number of commands combined together. I've put autosave on down the bottom here. Let's run that. So what we do is /, and it is test1 PS1. I'll run that. Now down the bottom you can see the output there. So that can obviously save you time with your configuration. Just scratching the surface there, but hopefully some of those basic PowerShell commands, if you start to adopt those in your day-to-day operations, they can really save you time, especially when you're dealing with IPv6. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. My name is Joe Neville, and goodbye.